This is a demonstration video on how to assemble the Hive IQ boxes, and this works for both deep boxes and the medium boxes that you have. So what we're about to do is assemble this deep box. So as with any project, if you just get your tools together, it makes it a lot easier. So when you buy the Hive IQ boxes, they come with some instructions, but they also come with all these different parts. And there are a lot of parts to it, but it's really not that difficult to put together. Especially when you put one together, you kind of see how to do it. So this is how we do it, and it works pretty quickly. It does not take long to put these together. But let's go over to the parts that you get. You get these two front and back panels. So they look like this. Each side has a handhold in it, and then it's got the joint here. So you get two of those that look like this, and then you have the sides, which are the long pieces. So they have handholds too, and you get two of those, and they have the holes here to receive those. They're not box joints because they're kind of angled a little bit, but they receive this here, so they nest in there pretty quickly. You can see like it's about that far into the box, so there's plenty of space in there. The other pieces you need are these bottom and top rails. There's two different ones, two for the top and two for the bottom. And then you need the top rails and the bottom rails for the long sides. So there's two different sizes, two for the top and two for the bottom. And then you need the corners. So these are all the corners right here, and they are a little bit different. It's easier just to show you how they go together than it is to explain the differences. But you can see they protect the corners, and then they've got a little eye hole or a little hole for the screw that's recessed there so that the head sinks down below. So you got those pieces, and then you have 8 screws, and then you need a drill with the Phillips head on it. That bit is not included, but who doesn't have a Phillips head bit? So first thing you can do is we're gonna slide our rails onto our long edges here. So just grab one of the rails. There's a 50% chance that you're gonna grab the right one. I'll show you. So that is the profile on one of them. And this is the profile on the other one too. So you can just grab one and you can see if it fits basically, and they all slide on. So this flatter one, it goes on the bottom. And this one with just a more of a stair-step design, a little higher one goes on the top. And really you just kind of slide it on there to see if you can, if you have it on the right direction. It's the easiest way to do it. Once you do one, it's very easy to do. So you can see they'll slide on. They're fairly tight, but they can still slide back and forth. All right, so that one is done. We'll do the next one right here. So this is the low profile one, and that would go onto the bottom. All right, and we got the long one here, the high profile one, and that goes onto the top. And the profile of this piece matches this piece right here. So I'll slide this on so you can see a little bit easier. All right, so those two are done. Next thing we do is we're gonna put the corners on. Don't slide these pieces onto the front and back, the short sides yet. We'll do that later. All right, so we have these pieces here. Now we need to slide these corners on. So again, kind of with the other one, it's just kind of best just to grab one and just see if you can kind of get it to fit. And obviously that one doesn't fit. So let's rotate this around, and that fits there. So you want to get them nice and flush on either side. So again, I'll grab like this lower profile one here, and I'll slide that one in there. And now we can do the tops. So that one slides there. And they're all going to be a little bit loose until you tighten it all up. And then this one goes here. All right. Okay, so now we got our one side done, and we'll do the next side in a second. I'll show you how to put these on. So now we've got this, and we're going, you can see the arrows right here, arrow here, it's pointing up. So just kind of like a regular box, this gets pushed into that. And you can see how this slides right on here, and then we're gonna put a screw in there on the bottom and then also on the top. So I'll grab a screw. This is what they look like, nice and long, so they actually go down into those box joints. So I'll put this one in here. All right. So you can flip it over and do this other side here. So we have one front in. We'll do this next one here. So the same thing, we'll just push this in there. You just want to make sure it has a nice seal right there, which it just kind of naturally does. And then we're going to put our 2 screws in here, one in the top, one in the bottom. So when you do put these screws in, you just want to make sure that it is sitting flush right where it's supposed to. It's nicely recessed, so you can put that in there, and you don't really have to struggle with it very much. You just got to push them together, and just like with anything you're screwing together, you just kind of hold it tightly until you get that screw in there. You can take glue and put it in the joints there. We have done that before, but these are really solidly built with it when everything is connected, that I don't feel the need to do that all the time, but you can use glue. Just make sure that it is used safer styrofoam. All right, so we got our front and our back, and now we can put our other long side on. Before we do that, we need to put our corners on. As long as those corners go on there isn't a wrong way to put these on. You're not gonna put the wrong corner. See, I can't force that corner on there. So you're not gonna put the wrong corner on the wrong edge. That. Okay, so now we can push this onto our box and get those joints lined up. There you go. Okay, so now that's together. Last things we got to do is put on our 4 screws. And you can do this with you can hand drive these. You don't need an impact driver or anything fancy to do this. But it certainly is faster. All right, so this one, I kind of put it in there too early. There's a little bit of a gap right there. So I'm just gonna back this out. And I'm gonna make sure that is touching before I put that in there. And since I don't want to put it back in the same hole, I'm going to kind of put it in at an angle this time. Okay. We got one more. All right, so we have all 4 corners in. Now we need to put in our top and bottom rail for the short pieces here. This is the low profile one here. This is the more high profile one right here. So the low profile will go on the bottom. And the way you do these is you kind of line it. There's a little groove right here that lines up with a groove in the box right here. So you're just gonna line those up on the outside edge and just press it on with your hands. And it just snaps like that. So that is tight and it covers those screws right there. We'll do this top one right here. It goes the same way. We'll just line it up. Snap it in. So these are your frame rest right here. Do this one. Again, you can't put it in the wrong way. If you do it wrong, it just won't go. And then the bottom one right here. And this box is done. And this box holds 9 frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is rock solid and ready for bees.